Antony, he is unstoppable. No defender, I think, can stop him because he's one of the quickest players in the first 10 yards.
Antony flop for Manchester United, the most expensive mistake in our history.
The last season before he moved to United was a really good player, we have to be honest here.
He's played 11 games this season, 0 goals and 0 assists. From an attacking player, that's not good enough.
I never thought he was an £80 million player when they first bought him.
Get him off the field! That was diabolical! Get him off the field! That's just typical of what it is!
Antony's an £85 million player. That for me is such a worry. When I watch him play and what he brings to the team, that is terrifying that he thinks he's 85 million.
Fidget spinner. Worst signing in football history. Fake Brazilian. These are some of the things that have been said of Antony since he made his big money move to Manchester United in 2022. And what's funny is that he actually started out well in England, but that seems like a long time ago now, as he has quickly turned into one of the most unlikable and most unpopular figures at the club, and even in the entire league.
Seven, he is not that guy yet, man.
Look at Antony, bro! This guy is not good, bro!
Antony's right now. He's taking my love out of football, bro.
So the question is, why do football fans hate Antony? Well, that's the question I'm here to answer today. This is the monster Ten Hag and Manchester United created, and you'll see why I say so. The truth is, we all should have known things would turn out like this when Antony was trying to force a move away from Ajax. I mean, most times, when players force a big money move, they end up being flops. You can take Coutinho and Dembele, for example, who forced moves away from Liverpool and Dortmund, respectively, and ended up flopping hard at Barcelona. But you see, Antony was one of those signings Erik Ten Hag insisted upon after he became Man United coach.
Antony, I know his abilities and he has great abilities. I know from the past, he is unstoppable. No defender, I think, can stop him because he's one of the quickest players in the first 10 yards. I'm very confident he will do for the future.
So the club trusted him and burst €100 million on the Brazilian winger, the third highest fee Man United have ever paid for a player, and the highest fee that has ever been paid for a player from Ajax or the Eredivisie in general. Just 3 days after Antony signed his Manchester United contract, he made his club and Premier League debut against Arsenal, and guess what? He scored the opening goal of the game and celebrated by pointing to the badge. He looked so fired up, and Man United fans were convinced they had gotten their superstar winger. I mean, what an impact, right? He even got a standing ovation from the great Cristiano Ronaldo, who was on the bench that day, and it would get even better. Antony's second Premier League game came against defending champions and neighbouring rivals Man City, and yes, he scored again. Now that game ended in a 6-3 loss, but Antony scoring his signature goal from outside the box against almighty Man City gave Man United fans reason to hope and believe. They might not have gotten 3 points from that derby, but Antony's curler certainly gave the Red Devils the dopamine rush they needed. The next Premier League game was against Everton, and Antony scored yet again. That goal made him the first player in Man United's history to score in his first 3 successive Premier League games. He had not been in the club up to 3 full months, and he was already breaking records. Amazing start. And the thing is that he wasn't just scoring goals, he was scoring big ones. Opener against Arsenal, equaliser against Everton, derby goal against City. Nah, that was a perfect start to life at a new club by all standards. United fans were definitely very happy about the signing the club had made. But that happiness slowly began to turn into desperation, then impatience, anger, and now hate. Walk with me. See, after that goal against Everton in October 2022, Antony failed to register a goal or an assist in the Premier League until April, when they played relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest. That was 6 whole months without a goal contribution in the league. And the Forest game did not even signal the start of a resurgence or anything like that, because that was where the season ended for him. He didn't score again after that game. Now, what got people really angry was how he seemed unbothered by his and the club's bad form. For example, he had that Europa League game where he did a very needless spin with the ball at his foot and went straight ahead to kick the ball out of play almost immediately. When you're not scoring and the club is not winning games, the last thing you should be thinking of is showboating, especially when the scoreline is still 0-0. That was when United fans really started becoming impatient with him.
He's not that good. He's not that. He only got into the Brazilian squad as well because of that United move, I think. Someone's like, oh, hello, you play for United, you're in. Well done.
Do you not think that we judge him so harshly because United just overspent and admitted that they overspent? That was the problem. United said he's not worth 100 million euros or whatever it was.
That spin brought him a lot of backlash from fans, the media and former players of the club, but that was just the beginning.
I just don't know what it achieves. Look, this crowd and me, I love a bit of showboating, I love a bit of entertainment,
But then at least get the next pass right.
Well, yeah, and does that do anything for anybody? Does it do anything for himself? We'd have to ask him. I don't know what it achieves, Owen. And like you say, the next bit.
To be fair to him, he would go ahead to score Europa League goals against Barcelona and Real Betis, which brought his total tally to 8 goals in 44 appearances in his first season for Manchester United. For a 100 million attacking signing, that's more than poor. So that's already 3 reasons football fans hate Antony. He has shown to be bad at football, he is not giving returns on a huge investment, and on top of all of that, he looks like he just doesn't care. And just to be clear, things didn't get any better in his second season. He scored just 3 goals in 38 appearances this time, which brings his total tally to 11 goals in 82 appearances for the club. The same number of goals Harry Maguire, a centre-back, has scored for Man United. Antony went a whole year without scoring at Old Trafford before his FA Cup goal against Liverpool. And he nearly went a whole season without scoring a Premier League goal, but when he finally scored his first goal of the season against 19th placed Burnley in game week 35, he made sure to go crazy with his celebrations. A goal which took United from 6th to 7th on the Premier League table, by the way. Like, brother, can you just read the room, please? And like that wasn't enough, after the game we found out that Antony had apparently been hiring a personal photographer to show up at games just to take pictures of him celebrating after scoring. How self-absorbed could one be? Instead of actually trying to help his team, this 100 million euro man was thinking about his Instagram posts. What a lad! Another reason fans are not very fond of the Brazilian is that sometimes it feels like he has main character syndrome. I mean, why did he make that face on the touchline when the coach was bringing him on against Arsenal? It's like he was already looking at the headlines after the game and how kids on social media would term it cold. Well, those kids ended up saying it was nothing but cringe. And speaking of cringeworthy moments, Antony has a lot of those. An overwhelming lot, in fact. Remember when he raised his shirt to reveal a message at the beginning of a game because he knew he wouldn't score that day? Cringe. Remember when he gestured an apology to the Galatasaray fans during a Champions League game like he was trying to get into a 100 Respect Moments YouTube video? Cringe. Or when he celebrated by cupping his ears to the Coventry players after he and his teammates had bottled a 3-goal lead against the mid-table championship team, only beating them on penalties after the tightest offside call overturned caused Coventry's winner to be disallowed. Super cringe. There's just absolutely no way you'll see all of this and not understand why Antony's heavily disliked by fans. And to worsen the case, he has an ego on top. Take the Arsenal game at Old Trafford, for example. With just 3 minutes left on the clock and United 1-0 down, Ten Hag decided to make some tactical changes to try and salvage something from the game. And that involved Antony moving to left back. But he looked like he felt too big to put in a defensive shift. Something much better players like Saka and Rafinha have had to do on a number of occasions. It's not like he does so much when he plays up front anyway. He can't score, can't assist, and can't even beat his man in a 1v1 situation. But he thinks he's too good to play at left back. This lad might need some deep introspection, and his off-the-pitch drama has not helped his rep at all. Remember, he was accused of domestic violence by his ex-girlfriend in 2023. That even led to Brazil dropping him from the squad for World Cup qualifiers, and Man Utd giving him an extended leave of absence. Now, he has not been found guilty, so I can't speak on that, but as we all know, being the subject of stuff like that never helps, especially when you're already an unpopular figure among the fans. And Man United and Ten Hag need to take some responsibility for this because Antony was never, at any point in his entire career, worth 100 million euros. How and why the club bid that much for him and sanctioned that move, I'd never be able to understand. Anyway, what do you guys think about Antony? Is he the most unlikable player in world football right now? Are there players you'd say are more unlikable than him? Tell me in the comments. While you're there, give the video a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button. See you in the next video.